Why hello, it's me again for another exciting installment of the very curious news from around the Russia with the amazing Conrad. And up first, of course, is very curious news item number 1. North America is hosting the World Cup, and it's about time. We have the infrastructure, we have the diverse fans, we have the still growing and evolving domestic league, and we're gonna share it with our neighbors. Mexico gets 10 games, Canada gets 10 games, and we get the rest. 60 in total to be exact, including all the most important ones, because that's how we roll. We act like we're sharing so we can win the bid to host, when we're really not. Okay, fine, 20 games not on American soil is quite a few, but still, we couldn't throw Mexico or Canada a quarterfinal or semifinal too. Are we that greedy? Don't answer that. I know the answer. Despite that part of it though, I am buzzing that the biggest sporting event in the world is coming back to our continent, because I was much younger when the tournament was in our backyard in 1994, but unfortunately, I didn't get to go to any of the games because my family couldn't afford it. So for it to make its way to our backyard again, when I can now take my own family, well, that is a big thrill. Or should I say, was a big thrill, because I just saw the proposed average ticket price, and it's gonna be $431 for one ticket, which is ridiculous. So never mind, it looks like I'm staying home again. However, looking at the bright side of things, as hosts, we get an automatic spot in the tournament, so we don't have to worry about not qualifying. Yes. Oh man, so amazing. Which is good news, obviously, given what happened this past year, which was a debacle of the highest order. Though it might even be better news for Canada, since they haven't qualified since the 1986 edition of the tournament, which, oddly enough, was in Mexico. And actually, now that I think about this some more, maybe the single most important component of winning this bid is that we now have a legitimate goal to work towards, because we cannot, I repeat, we cannot play poorly in this tournament when everyone in this country will be watching. So we now have 8 years to get it together, and the clock is ticking. Very curious news item number 2. Now it's time for a word from our sponsor. Question for you. Are you planning on being in the pool, or in Paris, or on the golf course, or at the movies, or in your private space, or hanging with some friends, or at your grandma's house for her 90th birthday party, or at school, or in a meeting, or on a long drive for a family vacation, and you are missing out on seeing the biggest games at the FIFA World Cup? Then do I have the solution for you. Sling TV. Anytime, any place. You just need an internet connection, and boom! You can watch it on your phone, tablet, computer, or a TV with a streaming device. No cable, no boxes. And get this, you can watch these games in English, Arabic, Portuguese, French, and Polish. It's your choice. As is when you watch, because you can watch them live, or you can record it and watch it later. In fact, it's so easy, it makes me feel like I'm living in a dream. Whoa, I'm flying! And watching the FIFA World Cup at the same time. Someone pinch me, but there's nothing to pinch because this isn't a dream. So go to sling.com/soccer to select the package you want and to customize your experience. So do it now. Join me in the clouds with Sling TV. Very curious news item number 3. Even when everyone is focused on the World Cup, Real Madrid still find a way to make it all about them. Because they just announced that the man who they've chosen to replace the departing Zinedine Zidane, and actually, before I most likely mispronounce the new manager's name, I'd like to take a quick moment to talk about Zidane. Is that okay with everyone? Because I believe the man's vision on the field, which was exquisite as a player, is equal to his vision off the field, because he absolutely picked the right time to walk away from this job as a history-making champion. And now he can hand off all of the BS behind the scenes, like the drama surrounding Cristiano Ronaldo's future with the club, and the very public politics that club president Florentino Perez seems to like to play, and what to do with Champions League final hero Gareth Bale, because Zidane knew that a storm was coming, and he didn't want any part of it, which for me confirms his legendary status. But back to Real Madrid's new hire, they decided to name the current Spanish national team coach Julian Lopetegui as the man to lead them forward, which I honestly feel like is a good, solid hire. He's a former player for the club, even though his time there was very short-lived, making only one appearance during his 4 seasons as a goalkeeper. And he's paid his dues as a manager, coaching Real Madrid's B team for a season and Spain's youth national team for 5 years. And then he left for Porto, where I felt like his best move was turning an on loan from Madrid Casemiro into something special, and then Madrid brought him back and they started winning Champions League titles like they were candy. They were like candy. Does that make sense? I don't think it makes sense, but I think you guys know what I mean. And then he left to take over the Spanish national team from Vicente del Bosque, or as I like to call him, Vincent of the Forest. Unfortunately, Lopetegui chose not to inform the Spanish FA that he was taking the Real Madrid job until 5 minutes before it was being announced, and the Spanish FA decided that that was unethical and improper, and they fired him 1 day before the start of the World Cup. Now, if you can believe this, I don't think it's going to impact the players all that much, because the majority of these guys have so much experience and have dealt with pressure at the highest level for so long, they probably don't even need a manager. But they got a good replacement in Fernando Hierro, who, given his incredible playing career for both club and country, he's going to receive instant respect from all the players. So back to Lopetegui, what a misstep on his part not to be more transparent with his current employers about what was happening behind the scenes, because now he misses out on what has to be every coach's dream, to lead your team in a World Cup. And Spain has a good chance of winning it as well, so he misses out on potentially kissing that trophy at the end. And as for the Spanish FA, I respect the bold call to fire him, but man, did they make this infinitely more dramatic than it needed to be. And now they run the risk of completely throwing off the rhythm of the team by adding this huge distraction that I believe could have been handled privately. But I think it's clear that egos and reputations are at stake, and the Spanish FA definitely didn't want to be one-upped by Real Madrid, who clearly think they can do whatever they want. So that is it. That is all I got, except for this. Come back for more World Cup content every single day on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and make sure you sign up for Sling TV for this tournament at sling.com/soccer so that you do not miss a game. They've been a fun partner to work with. All right, see you tomorrow. Later.